Hello, good people. This is your guy, your communicator, educator, and free thinker, bringing you another edition of your weekly report, broadcasting live from the Lone Star State. Today's top story, and it is a hot one, is from Fox News, an article by Morgan Phillips titled Biden Executive Order Says Schools Should Include Transgender Athletes in Girls' Sports. The order was released on the first day of his presidency. President Biden, in an executive order aimed at preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender, identity, or sexual orientation, is calling on schools across the country to allow transgender athletes to participate in the sport of their gender identity. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that he will get pushback from this. That's all I'm saying. So, to quote Biden, number 46, children should be able to learn without worrying about whether they will be denied access to the restroom, the locker room, or school sports, unquote. Reads the new order released on the first day of his presidency. The order is a strong signal that the Justice Department is going to enforce it via Title IX, and schools that don't comply risk losing funding. That's a way to change the minds of people. Because it has worked in the past. It has worked in the past, good people. Now, I'm remaining neutral on this. I don't want to get into all of this. I'm just asking, what do you think? Because if you look at Brown versus Board of Topeka, Kansas, when we talk about the integration of the school system, how did they get people to comply? You either threatened them with taking funding or you gave them funding. One of the two. But that's something that people really don't, the underlying part that people don't talk about when it comes down to Supreme Courts and the Justice Department, when it comes down to federal dollars, tax dollars, I would say, or funding. You're either going to take it away or you're going to give more. So, or some people say, is it the illusion of conclusion? You know, who knows? But let's read on here. The order also calls for equal treatment regardless of gender identity or sexual orientation in the workplace and in healthcare settings. All persons should receive equal treatment under the law, no matter their gender identity or sexual orientation, the order states. The order points to Supreme Court case Bostock v. Clayton County, 2020, where the court held Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act prohibiting discrimination because of sex includes discrimination on the basis of gender, identity, and sexual orientation. So if this is already in there, Title VII, I guess they're going to amend this. Biden in the order tied in intersectional discrimination. Okay, he's tying it in, writing that discrimination on the basis of gender identity and sexual orientation is often coupled with discrimination based on race or disability. Heads of agencies are ordered to reassess their policies regarding the Title VII or any statute prohibiting sex discrimination. So they're going to reassess and just put this in, included. I'm thinking. So anyway, transgender athletes in schools was a hot topic of debate last year, and I do believe it's going to continue to be a hot topic of debate. Either until we get acclimated, or it's going to be an ongoing issue. Now, when 17 states introduced bills to restrict athletes' participation to sports of their gender assigned at birth, only one became law, and that was Idaho. The then Trump administration supported the ban, but a federal judge temporarily blocked its implementation after a lawsuit from the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU. The then Trump administration also intervened in Connecticut when the U.S. Department of Education found a law allowing transgender high school girls to compete on girls' sports teams violated the Title IX right of girls assigned female at birth. That's where the mini war began to come in. Transgender versus heterosexual females. The DOE threatened the Connecticut schools with pulling funding or facing action from the DOJ, the Department of Justice, but neither happened. the administration had jumped in to support a case of several cisgender girls seeking to block the state policy. The plaintiffs argued transgender female runners had an unfair physical advantage. I do believe I saw that on YouTube, and that was quite embarrassing. We'll cover that in just a minute, briefly. The case is yet to be decided. Now, currently 14 states, and including the District of Columbia, have policies similar to Connecticut's, according to transathlete.com. 14 others allow transgender participation with certain conditions, such as hormone treatments or other proof of the athlete is transitioning, according to the organization. Last year, a group of Republican senators introduced a bill that would revoke federal funding of schools that allow transgender girls to compete in women's sports. But it didn't go very far because former Senator Kelly Loeffler, she's no longer a senator anymore, Republican out of Georgia, who co-sponsored the bill, highlighted a dispute in Connecticut where two competitors, this is what I was talking about briefly ago, who were born male but identified as female, won 15 state championships. And I do believe if this goes forward, which it will, more and more championships will be won. And not only that, records will be broken, I predict. And don't get me started on the Olympics. So anyway, a law professor at the Western New England School of Law who specializes in gender and discrimination in education and athletics told the Associated Press the Connecticut case could evaporate if the new administration doesn't want to press it. Now, just because the law exists does not mean everyone follows it. That is true. Now, here's the question. Should transgender persons be allowed to participate in sports? What do you think? What does this mean for the world of college sports in the future? Will this spread to other countries? Biologically, males are stronger than females. This could be interesting, or as I should say, this will be interesting. Could this be a war on women? Things that make you go, I believe this has opened a Pandora's box big time that is a long way from closing, which probably will not ever close. Well, you know the old saying, be careful what you wish for, or should I say, be careful what you compete for. All right, good people, sad to say, but that's it for today. And remember, if you had or have a bad day, it's going to be okay. This is your guy, your communicator, educator, Mr. Information, and free thinker. Until next time, like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.